Hello everybody, welcome to another different kind of replay analysis. As DreamHack Starcraft 2 Masters Europe group stage has just finished for me, and I've unfortunately been knocked out of that group stage. I finished all my matches. So I wanted to do a small video about a single victory that I got on this group stage that I'm a little bit proud of. Maybe it's just a small victory, but it's, you know, it's something out of that group stage. I am the only person in my group that took a map of Serral, and it's a small victory, you know, you have to be happy with the small things. So I decided to do a small replay analysis of that game. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I'll take that away from this. So the way that I approached this series was without any high expectations. It was like in the middle of the group, and I was not having the best score there. But I needed a win or a map win. Any kind of map win would still keep me in the tournament. But obviously Serral is, you know, it's Serral. It's a very tough opponent, and I cannot be expecting to win versus him. So I wanted to at least take a map, and that would be good enough for me. And looks like Serral came in prepared, because the way that I scouted was very standard for me. I wanted to block the hatchery from going down. But then immediately the first thing that I see is that I was not able to block the hatchery with the probe. So I went to the north to check if he placed a hatchery in here. And then I wanted to go in here, but I spotted the drone coming back, and he placed on a hatchery at all around later time. That means it was a pull before hatchery, which is not very common, and I was expecting maybe this would be a 12 pull or something like that. But Serral decided to go for more of a economic pull first. It was a 17 pull. It kind of caught me a little bit off guard. I was not prepared for this kind of situation, but I tried to keep my calm. And I decided to go for Cybernetics Core before the Nexus, and then be prepared for any kind of, you know, link aggression, any kind of damage that Serral could be doing to me. If he would be going for numerous links, I would be spotting that with this probe. I see only 2 links going forward, so I am not scared at all. Also, the most important thing that I scouted in the main bit was the lack of gazers. That means that any kind of committed aggression would not be really possible, and if he would be committing with more than 2 links, I would be able to wall myself in. So I was kind of prepared to not take any damage. I chrono boosted out the adept, obviously, because it's still a pull before Nexus, so I don't want to lose any kind of probes. And I was ready to go into the Stargate. My probe is being attacked on the other side of the map, but I was checking for the additional links coming in. I almost denied a full scout with the links, but the links get in, they see the Stargate. And it was not the biggest of deals. Like, if you can hide the Stargate, it's obviously great for a Protoss player, but I was prepared, and I think Serral was also prepared to play a Stargate no matter what. So I was not trying to hide the Stargate, I just was about to plant it no matter what. I chrono boosted out the second adept, and I went immediately on the aggression. That's because I saw the lack of gases, right, from my opponent, so I knew the link speed would not be over. So I decided to go try to find some damage with the adepts. And if there would be any additional links coming my way right now, I would have a void ray started to defend this. I would have to, you know, pull some pros micro a bit. So it was a little bit of a risky move, but hey, I have to take some risks if I want to beat Serral. I scouted the third base being relatively late. I shaded in forward. He already has 2 queens. I want to see how much damage I can do with the 2 adepts. The 4 links are going in. I wanted to do a perfect shade, where I'm going to be blocking the links in here, the surface area of the links, but the shade finished slightly further away, but it still was good enough. I wanted to trade these adepts for the mineral income of Serral, because I knew the gas was so late that the link speed would not be finished. As we can see in the top left, it's still far away, so I wanted to trade these adepts for as much as possible. And since I only saw 4 links of Serral, I decided to commit with the shade with the adept. So they get a couple of drones, a lot of mining time loss, and I try to escape with this adept. In the meantime, I'm going for a void ray, and obviously continues probe production. And luckily the adept goes out, but you know, Serral being Serral just has the queens prepared. Right now I'm trying to clear some of the creep, sorry, not the creep, but the vision of Serral. Usually there's an overlord in here to spot for the gas timings and the full wall off and so on. So I keep scanning with the void ray for an overlord behind my main base, behind the natural, to see if I can deny some of the vision, as I will be going into a carrier build that I have specifically prepared for this map and for versus Serral. Looks like there's no overlord in here. I'm looking looking good. I dealt a lot of damage, right? Income-wise, we're on equal workers, which is good for the Protoss. I'm creating a Stargate unit, the Oracle, to continue harassing. I keep scouting for the Overlord, because there must be an Overlord somewhere, right? Like, I'm searching around my base. I even see this area. There's no Overlord with the Oracle, so I'm feeling good about this, that my Oracle is not being spotted. So I immediately put down the most important tech, the Fleet Beacon and second Stargate. I'm like, alright, this is well hidden, he has no idea, he cannot have any idea. And then I go put a pylon in the edge of my base, and there's a freaking Overlord there. And like, at this moment, I know if I cannot deny the scout, Serral will have a pretty big upper hand, because if you scout this build, there's like no risk for the Zerg for the time being, right? Like, I'm investing so much into the technology that I know he'll be fine. So now I know that this Overlord, I'm like, oh my god. I try to harass with the Oracle, and this is where I notice the Overlord. I'm like, oh my god, this Voidray is way too slow. It's like very close to spotting the Fleet Beacon and the second Stargate. So I even used on accident the prismatic alignment to for no real reason, and yeah, Serral immediately spots the tech and the direction that I want to put this game into. So I'm not feeling very comfortable in this position. The Oracle didn't find any damage really, the creep spread is being good, so I try to just macro up right now. My plan is to go into the carriers and a lot of gateway units. I try to harass with the Oracle. I can put it on my camera right now, and I spotted the lair being made as I chrono boost out the 2 carriers and +1 attack. This Oracle will be very helpful. On this map actually is very useful. I can show you on everyone's vision. Like, this position in here is very annoying for the Zergs, but look at how Serral is prepared for the harassment of the Oracle. Because this area is like impossible for Zerg to clear without Spire, like, the Oracle can harass from this side, from this side, from this side, and even like from the left side in here. But Serral just is prepared for everything. He has queens in position to snipe this kind of potential of harassment. So I go for the carriers, go for the Twilight Council, and Forge. In the meantime, my plan is to make a late game army, you know, with carriers, Chargers, Archons, and so on. And the thing is, I played versus Serral a couple of times before on the ladder, and he's been crushing me, and on this map especially, while I was going for like Stargate heavy compositions. So I kinda knew the way that Serral is going to be approaching this game. Maybe I was thinking about either a Queen Roach push, maybe Hydra push, or Hydra Bane push. And I spot the lair, I saw no roaches, even though he has a Roach Warren. So I was suspecting maybe this is going to be a Hydra Bane attack. I have not yet spotted a Hydralisk then or anything like that. And the biggest problem for me this game was the lack of scouting. My Oracle was the only unit to scout what my opponent is going to be doing. And well, the problem is that I can only scout like here and here. It's very hard to go deep with the Oracle without losing it. So I was not able to scout for the Hydralisk then. But I was very happy with the macro position or economical position. I had no issues securing a third base. My gases and the natural and the main base were fully saturated, and I was trying to do some harassment with the carriers, with the very first 2 carriers. Even though they were scouted, I was like, maybe this is a good idea to put some pressure on and scout the unit count and the unit positioning. Obviously, Serral being Serral, he's immediately in position with the queens. I do almost no damage with the carriers, and my Voidray goes down, but I get a very important scout with the Voidray, which kind of rang me like alarm bells. I saw little to no drones at the 4th base, and if I am a Zerg who scouted a Fleet Beacon and a second Stargate, you're like in little to no danger. So I would be expecting him to have many more drones in here. So I'm like, he's maybe going to be attacking me. So I immediately started a bunch of gateways, charge +1, and additional carriers. I was not fully expecting an all-in or anything from Serral's side, but I was expecting some kind of pressure. And I was okay with that, because I think my production facility and carriers were in a good enough numbers. My +1 has finished for the carriers, so carriers are pretty damn strong. I tried to keep on harassing with the Oracle, but it does get deflected all the time. Now, again, the lack of scouting really comes in. I cannot really send anything across the map without it being, like, intercepted and killed for free. But I try to send a couple of zealots on the other side of the map just to see the potential attack incoming. And now I see it. I saw the Hydras, I saw the Queens, and I'm like, crap. I have 5 carriers, I have 4 zealots. My productions are just finishing and he's already here, you know? I have 11 gateways soon to be done. But this is like danger zone, danger zone. Like my army is going to be strong, but not yet, and he's already here. So my thought process is right now that I need to buy as much time as possible before my army is actually strong. I start +2 in hopes that it might finish, but it's not necessarily a good idea when once you're being attacked. But maybe I would be standing my ground and maybe it would finish. So I sent a group of zealots on the other side of the map just to cause some chaos, buy myself some time, maybe additional 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is, to buy myself time for the army that is going to be good against his, you know, like Carrier, Charge Out, Archon is actually pretty damn good against Hydralisks, but I see the number of Hydralisks in here, and like, there's no way I can attack this, look at the Interceptors, and then I see Queens already here, like, holy shit, this is not going well for me, and I need to do some sacrifices in here. The Zealots are on the other side of the map, they will try to deal some damage, but right now, I'm only thinking about making as much army as possible. The good thing about defending with against this kind of armies that the Queens are slow, right? And they kind of block the Hydras and so on. So I'm again just trying to buy as much time as possible. The counter-attack with the Zealots is dealing significant amount of damage. So I'm like, okay, my army is going to be strong relatively soon. I'm willing to even sacrifice this base to defend this. I think, you know, there are a couple of Queens in here. Maybe it would be a good idea to warp in some High Templars and try to feedback them before they can get a lot of transfuses. They go on the low ground, I do some feedbacks, I miscalculate the range of the Hydras a bit and I lose a couple of Templars, but I do get the feedbacks off, which is still good enough. And Morphin Archers, I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty bad for me. Like, I have to crush this army right now, because the longer the game goes, the worse it's going to be for me, because, well, I will not have a base, right? He's going to be on 4 bases, fully saturated. So I decide to take everything that I have before the natural is down. I take my probes, I take my zealots, and flank from all these sides. Now, the way that this army functions for the Zerg, you know, they're pretty much on attack move, or they can target fire. And the target fire will go into the interceptor, the attack move will go into the interceptors. That way the zealots, the archons, and the probes are going to be dealing a lot of damage. Interceptors deal a lot of damage as well. So I surround Serral from all sides, tank as much as possible with the interceptors, with the probes. The zealots are on the Queens, which is the perfect position for me. And while interceptors are going to go down, most of my zealots, archons, and some of the probes survive. But the most important part is the carriers. The carriers survive. And I had to rush for this engagement, pull the probes, pull the zealots, pull the archons, because the reinforcements will be coming in very soon, right? The harassment zealots were cleaned up, so I knew the reinforcements would be coming in soon. So I had to rush for this engagement before the reinforcements come in, before Zerg's army is going to be too strong. So right now I'm thinking my army is very strong. I just killed his entire army. By the time I reach the other side of the map, I will replenish all the interceptors. My third base has been untouched, my main base has been untouched. I lost the natural, but I have enough money to restart the natural. Well, the only thing that comes to mind right now is counter-attack. And I know that with this kind of attack from the Zerg, the Queens and the Hydras, he will not have any too high of a number to overwhelm me immediately. So I go here and try to trade as efficiently as possible. I try to pull back some of my zealots before they charge into death. And then I try to trade some of the interceptors, flank some of the damage with the archons, and kill as much as I can. I split off a couple of zealots to the 4th base, because I know there would be no defenses. I almost break Serral right here, but the interceptor count is going drastically low. And like, if archons can get on top of Hydras, it's going to be good for me. But the interceptors again are going very low. I try to buy myself as much time as possible with the stasis ward, and this stasis ward is quite crucial because I'm trying to recall my main army, because the interceptors are down. Like, I have little to no army other than the archons, and Serral was microing super well. So I put down the stasis ward and I recall the army. Now, without the stasis ward, what does the Zerg do? Well, they come in forward, they snipe a carrier, they snipe maybe 2 archons while I recall. So because of the stasis ward, Serral cannot do that, and I buy myself precious couple of seconds and I lose no units. Again, most important part, all of my couriers survive, all of my archons survive. I only traded minerals with like zealots and interceptors. If we look at the resources lost, I'm severely ahead. And now for me, it's only a matter of time to come back into the game with my economy. My natural is getting saturated, but I think I still need to keep trading. I don't want to give Serral the precious time to take up into Vipers, maybe Corruptors and so on, to overwhelm me. So I decided to, again, gather all my forces, don't care about the defense, just go for the offense. I even scout there's no 5th base, which got me a little bit excited because I realized that maybe there's a chance for me to win this game. So I go on the offense yet again, and I see the only number of Hydras with 1-1, and I have a significant amount of Archons. I see Queens without Transfuse. I'm like, this is my moment to attack. If only I can micro properly, and if the Archons can get on top of that. So I try to move forward as much as I can. The Archons are target firing the Queens. The couriers, well, they're kind of derping around because of the Overlords, but it's hard to micro in these tense situations. And Serral is doing whatever he can, but there's simply nothing that Serral can do against this kind of army. His 4th base is being attacked by an Archon that I have specifically split off, and we are both on 3 base economy. Even though the Zerg is on 68 drones, and I can only trade better with this kind of army. Serral what can do, he can only move back, attack, move back, attack, move back, attack. So I would eventually kill all of these Hydras with the Interceptors because there would be no overwhelming numbers. So with this move, the move of surrounding the entire army of Serral, sacrificing the natural, making a decision not to engage early, where I would probably lose the entire army and trade inefficiently, I decided to sacrifice the natural, wait a little bit, buy myself time with the Zealous counterattack, and then again with the counterattack, buy myself time with a Stasis Ward to get a recall and replenish the interceptor count on my carriers. I managed to win a single game against Serral, and I was quite happy with the way that I decided to play that game, because I got scouted early on, and technically that was a game loss for me, because Serral is incredibly good in these kind of games if he scouts what you are doing and if you cannot surprise him. So yeah, this is how I beat Serral, the only map that he lost in the group stage. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of replay analysis. It's from a tournament setting, so I put a lot of effort into playing this game, and there were a lot of things that I had to take into consideration. It's very tough to play these kind of games, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.